Hello, friends, and thanks for tuning into Taste Radio, the #1 podcast for anyone building a business in food or beverage. I'm Ray Latif, the editor and producer of Taste Radio, and I'm with my co-hosts for this episode, John Craven, Jackie Bruglera, and Melissa Traverse. In this episode, we sit down with Ria Soler, the director of global advocacy for luxury spirit brand Tequila Comos. Tequila's on a roll. John Craven, I don't see you drink much tequila. You're more of a gin and bourbon kind of guy, yeah?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I like a margarita. I don't know.
Really? I don't think I've ever seen you drink a margarita.
I mean,
only when you're in paradise.
Spicy margarita. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah. Jackie, I know you drink tequila. We had some experiences with tequila at the old Shay J.
Yes, we've had
I don't really recall those experiences.
I wouldn't say that was a pleasant experience.
Regrettable experiences.
I mean, in San Diego, I drank a bunch of tequila, though. There's tequila everywhere. There's little bodegas with very nice tequila from Mexico. You can have margaritas all the time. So here it's a big deal, but I know it's a big deal everywhere now.
Yeah. Tequila is indeed on a roll. Melissa, do your Friday and Saturday cocktails include tequila?
Oh, absolutely. Tequila is certainly one of my favorites. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, I feel like tequila is seen as like one of the healthier alcohols. There's that lore that tequila is the only alcohol that's a stimulant, which I know isn't true, but I feel like the athletes and, I don't know, people who are more concerned with their health maybe gravitate towards tequila.
Yeah, my friend actually got me on this whole kick of drinking tequila with a splash of olive juice and olives.
Ooh.
Because tequila's better for you and you get like some of the sodium and electrolytes of the olive juice.
Yeah.
I do these workout videos with Sean T, the Insanity guy, and he has this woman, Kristen, who's his trainer, and he always asks her for a tequila Kristen where she like does a little booty dance because she also drinks tequila.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't heard about this better for you than other spirits, tequila being that. But I do recall when David Wells of the New York Yankees, he was a pitcher back then. This is about, this is 27 years ago. He pitched a perfect game for the New York Yankees and admitted after the game that he had a hangover throughout. And I imagine maybe the tequila was involved, but it was better for you. It gave him that kick, that stimulant he needed, perhaps.
And athlete, I mean, there are a number of athletes who own tequila brands, right? There's LeBron,
sure,
Michael Jordan,
who doesn't own one?
The Rock.
I wouldn't necessarily call The Rock an athlete per se, but he's he does and sports entertainment,
Erin from The Real Housewives of New York, who always looks amazing.
Okay. I think what we've proven out here is that tequila should be the spirit of choice if you're thinking about doing anything related to fitness or athletics.
The official spirit of regret.
Now, Tequila Comos, you should definitely try that product, that brand. Their tequila is all aged in wine barrels. It is delicious stuff. And as I mentioned, tequila is on a roll, but don't take my word for it. Our dear colleague and esteemed journalist Farron Salnikar, who is BevNet's spirits editor, wrote a piece about tequila's gains on premise and how it's taking away share from other spirits. So definitely check that out. It's on BevNET.com. Also, definitely check out Taste Radio Austin. If you're based in the area, if you're traveling to Austin, and apparently there are a lot of folks traveling to Austin the week of May 5th, our event is on May 6th. Our event is on May 6th. The event of the week of May 5th, there's a whole bunch of consumer brand events happening in Austin that week. But again, our event is on May 6th from 5 to 7 p.m. at Torchy's Tacos at their Escarpment location. It's going to be lots of fun. We already have a ton of people who RSVP'd. There's going to be networking. There's going to be live podcast interviews. There's going to be food, obviously tacos. There's going to be beer. There may be perhaps some margaritas. So definitely make it if you can. RSVP tasteradio.com/Austin. And by the way, they are Torchy's, that is, I heard, expanding to Boston. And their new locations are going to be called Tawchy's. So I know. No. Okay.
Bueller.
I had to. I'm sorry.
Sad a laugh track in for that joke.
All right.
A sad laugh track.
Let's no, seriously, come to Austin. If you're there, come see us May 6th at Torchy's Tacos Escarpment location. All right, Melissa, we're so blessed that you're here. Thank you so much. You're not just here because Mike is in Amsterdam. I don't know. What is he doing in Amsterdam, by the way?
I mean, what do people do in Amsterdam? Ride their bikes.
He's in the red light district?
Jeez. It's a family show and he's on a family vacation. So
Okay. No, I asked Mike what he was doing. He asked for some advice on places to visit. The only places I know to visit in Amsterdam, don't say it, are the wine bars and some nice eateries. I don't know anything about it. And Mike, he...
Just forget about the Anne Frank house or something of actual historical significance.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Mike tempers his drinking nowadays, and so I didn't really have some great advice for him. But I am truly happy that you're here, Melissa, and I want to hear all about what you're doing with Nombase, which is the amazing platform that's changing the game for CPG.
Well, I'm so happy to be here. I'm going to start locking people up in closets so I can show up on the regular.
That's another one of these statements that you've made on this podcast that kind of scare me about your background. And you see me leaning this way, Melissa? I remember you once told us that you saw graffiti on a bathroom wall once, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
yeah, remember that?
Yeah. There's a lot I don't share, but then I guess we can just cut that out.
No, we don't have to cut anything out, actually.
Well, it's so great to be here, and Nombase is certainly changing the game. We've got a lot of great stuff coming up for everybody. So of course, again, if you haven't been to look at your listing in our supplier directory, make sure that you head over there, Nombase.com, and got some really great content coming up for everybody. We just released the Sweet 9C and Dappy podcast, and I know that you actually sat down with Yanni and Paula. Is that right?
Yanni, the founder of Lemon Perfect, and Paula Grant, who's the founder of Sweet 9C. We talked about what went into the rebrand for Lemon Perfect and how Paula and Yanni collaborated, sometimes butt heads, and eventually got to this place where they came out with a really great looking brand refresh.
So we're taking folks behind the scenes to show exactly how a design firm like Sweet 9C works with a brand. So Dappy is the subject of the podcast, and
Dappy
is a non-alcoholic functional beverage. It's super delicious. They were, of course, a finalist in our new beverage showdown, and so we're really kind of going behind the scenes to see exactly how a firm like that works towards rebranding packaging.
Yeah, and what's amazing about this feature on Nombase is that Dappy, as you mentioned, Melissa, was a finalist in our most recent New Beverage Showdown and positioned as a non-alcoholic cocktail almost is what I recall. And this collaboration between Nombase, Sweet 9C, and Dappy is really a great opportunity for people to see what current and modern brands, what's making current and modern brands move off the shelf, especially when it comes to that front of the label and making sure that people not only understand what they're getting, but are enticed by what they're getting. And so I love this feature.
So we have the video and the podcast up there. This is definitely one that you'd want to check the video out for because we have some great visuals that go along with that. So Nombase.com, check out the podcast tab. We also have coming up Thrive Market. So Natalie Wider is the newish VP of Category Management. She just joined in September, and they're actually making a lot of changes to the way that they do business. So they're changing the category review cycle. They are standardizing vendor terms. And so Natalie will kind of go through everything that they're changing and how brands can stay up to date on all of that. Natalie has a really amazing background in e-com with Amazon, and she's actually a Dedham, Massachusetts native. So she's she grew up right down the street.
Dedham, Mass. All right. our dear former colleague Matt Kennedy lives in Dedham.
Yeah. My dad grew up in Dedham.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone we know is in Dedham these days,
I
apparently.
know.
Yeah. So.
And then last, I'll give everyone a sneak peek to something we're working on for next month. We have Scout Brisson, who's going to be at BevNet Live on with Sows and Home Court, which is an HBC brand. And they're going to be talking about the trade shows that you should go to, what you can expect to get out of a trade show, should you even go. So we're going to be diving into that.
Yeah, Scout is the CEO of Dessoir, a non-alcoholic cocktail brand that was co-founded by Katy Perry. And I remember when Scout posted on LinkedIn about her experience at Expo West and talked about whether it was worth the investment, what they actually spent, what they expect to get out of it, and was detailing the whole process on LinkedIn. And I reached out to her and I was like, hey, do you want to do something for Taste Radio? She's like, actually, I'm doing something cool with Melissa on Nombase. I'm like, missed out on that. But so I love this idea, and I'm so happy you're sitting down with her, because transparency about these events is, near and dear to my heart.
Absolutely.
So very exciting stuff. Scout is also going to be speaking at BevNet Live in New York City, June 11th and 12th. She is one of many incredible speakers that we have lined up for the event. We've mentioned Ralph Crowley Jr., who is the president and CEO of Polar Beverages. He's going to be at the event talking about how brands, especially small brands, can scale with large distributors like Polar. Ben Mand, who's the CEO of Guayaquil. What an interesting sort of repositioning that company has taken. John Frost, who's the Chief Customer Officer for Chobani. Jill Seitz, the EVP of Sales for the Pathfinder. We have Megan Klein, who's the founder of Little Saints. Chris Hunter. How could I skip over Chris Hunter? Chris Hunter, the CEO of Koya. Kyle Fitzpatrick, who's the founder of Paperboy Ventures. It's just a stacked lineup of speakers. In addition to all these speakers, we're once again bringing back our one-to-ones. That means you'll have the opportunity to sit down with buyers from Whole Foods Market and the Goods Mart, chat with them about how you can get into their stores, have them review your packaging, your nutrition facts label, your flavor, the flavor of your products, obviously, what's working, what doesn't, and perhaps, hopefully, get into their stores one day. So very exciting stuff. And of course, the New Beverage Showdown. If you haven't applied and you're thinking about applying, you've got to do it now. Our applications are filling up fast, and we're going to be making decisions about who the semifinalists are very, very soon.
I know people say this all the time, but I'm going to say it one more time. Just getting up on stage is winning. It's such a big deal.
Yes, absolutely. And what's really cool is that when you see people up on stage and you see the confidence that they have and how proud they are and how passionate they are about their brands, it says so much more than what you see on the shelf, on a website, in their social media. And the entire community sees that too. The entire beverage community sees so much more than what they may have thought or heard about your brand.
Yeah. And when they get on stage too, the entire industry gets to know them.
Yes.
And then they come off stage and they're like a mini celebrity at the event. Everyone wants to talk to them, pick their brain. They want to learn more about their story. It's just, your first introduction and launch pad into the industry.
Absolutely. And you get great feedback. John gives good feedback. Very, very straightforward. If he doesn't like your product, he's not going to exactly say he doesn't like your product. He's just going to say, I think you should probably do this or that. But you don't never, that's a double negative, but you don't not never. You like most brands. I don't think I've ever heard you really say, this is never going to work.
I think they're, it'd be hard to think of some brand.
I can think of one
that just has, well, no, look, every brand that's starting out has hopes and dreams and a desire to be successful.
This is sounding very diplomatic, by the way.
But it is. And it's true also at the same time, which is, I think, if you look at brands that, we've seen that have gone on to be successful, not just in the New Beverage Showdown, but in general, a lot of times where they started out and where they end up have a really wide gap between them. Not every brand is like that, but most have a pretty decent sort of path where they evolve. And again, I think when someone gets up there, obviously, like, they're getting up on a stage, like, I want them to be successful. I am trying to be straight with them, but I think there are very few concepts that have absolutely zero path forward, So I think that really is kind of what separates, founders who are really successful from maybe those who are not is just their willingness and how relentless they are to do that. Because sometimes it's hard, So that's my answer to you accusing me of being diplomatic,
and their willingness to accept good advice.
Yes, absolutely. It wasn't an accusation. It was just an observation.
Okay.
Jackie was once a judge in the New Beverage Showdown as well. I thought you did an incredible job. I keep wanting to tell Mike, I keep putting it on the calendar being like, Mike/Ray meeting about the New Beverage Showdown. And I just want to be like, look, maybe you want to step away from the judging this time and let Jackie take a crack at it. The pen of judgment. But that's the thing. Like, Mike's favorite thing to do in life is judge the New Beverage Showdown. So I don't know how to.
It is really fun.
Yeah. It is really
I mean,
fun.
yours is to host it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait
that's true.
a second. Wait a second. Is it not your favorite thing to do?
I'd say duck hunting is my favorite thing to do, actually. But close second is hosting the New Beverage Showdown.
guy from Brookline's definition of duck hunting is like finding a good Chinese restaurant or something, right?
No, it's just I like to wear the jacket and the nice cravat and
The hat with the flaps.
Oh,
over
I don't
the
do
ears?
that. I don't do
No.
that. No.
The lit pipe.
The lit pipe, the flask of scotch.
Your family plaid.
Yes, actually, we do have a family plaid. How did you know that? All right. I am really excited about this as well. I keep saying I'm excited about all those things. Truly, I am. FABID has released a new report that is on BevNet and Nosh. FABID stands for Food and Beverage Investor Database. They release a whole bunch of information about what's shaking in M&A, who's getting money and why. They have released a report, and the title of this caught my attention, or at least the first line. Is the food and beverage funding freeze finally thawing? FABID's Q1 2025 report reveals a surprising rebound in deal size and investor appetite, just not where you might expect it. So you can get access to the full report, which breaks down the biggest deals, trends by stage and size, and what they signal for emerging brands via this link, tasteradio.com/data.
And I think it's like a free sample.
It's free. There's no strings attached.
No strings attached. And we have been partnering with FABID and other data providers quarterly to release these reports. And they're usually an insider exclusive, but we want to make sure you have access to this because this is really valuable information. So go to the tasteradio.com/data URL, fill up a short form, and then you'll get access to the free report.
This is information you can use in your pitch decks and your innovation plan. It's good stuff.
That's a really good point, Melissa. This is why. So Mike would just be like, yeah, we're giving it out for free. You should be proud and happy to be associated with us. But you gave like real good information that, people who are listening can use. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Mike would say, just use a lot of clip art in your pitch deck.
AI generated.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. We talk about AI somehow. This is not fair.
And Arsenal quotes.
And I can't knock on the guy when he's not here. That's not fair.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I guess I can.
Kick him while he's down.
Did you notice that when I said tasteradio.com/data, I said data? I don't usually do that, but that's a Star Trek The Next Generation thing.
I wasn't going to say it because I thought it would make me seem like a nerd.
No.
But yeah, data. Remember when Data became human?
Yes, I do remember that. Yes.
Do you guys do the little Star Trek hand sign at each other now? Is that
Sure,
what
but that's not TNG though. That's the original.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that forgive my ignorance.
No, so Jean-Luc Picard, who's played by Patrick Stewart, Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Here we go.
Hold on. People who are listening are going to know what I'm talking about.
I would vote for him for president.
He's a good guy.
Wow.
Okay, so
our numbers are just falling off a cliff.
Anyway,
I'm tuning out.
as part of his team, he had an android who is their science officer. And Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, is British. And so he never said data. He said data. Right. He put the accent on the second syllable, right? Data. Yes. Data. Yeah. So anyway, that's the way I said it. Okay. Let's move on from data to National Pretzel Day. That's an easy segue. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I almost pulled out the stuff. I have a secret vial here. Not really a vial, but anyway. National Pretzel Day apparently is on Saturday, April 26th. Everyone here loves pretzels. I know you love pretzels, John Craven.
Sure.
Pretzelized. That's your brand now, right?
I like pretzelized, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't Like pretzels by themselves?
A New Yorker like yourself, you don't like pretzels?
Kind of like bagels.
Well, no. I mean, the hot pretzel sold on a street, cooked over some sure, that's like a
Cooked over some what?
chestnuts.
Oh,
Excuse me. That's like a nostalgia thing here. Packaged pretzels are kind of boring.
Okay, so you're a soft pretzel guy more than you are a hard pretzel
I
guy.
guess, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
No, it's not a whatever. That's an important question to ask. If you're going out on a date, if you're on the Tinders or the
stuff that no one thinks about.
the Hinges of the world and stuff like that, I would think that's a good question. Good icebreaker.
What kind of pretzels do you like?
What kind of pretzel person are you?
I like all pretzels, although I will say I don't love the doughy pretzels, but I do really like packaged pretzels. Have you guys had unique pretzels?
No.
I know Whole Foods Market sells them. They have they have these sourdough rings, which are so good, and they're salty enough. My biggest problem with almost all packaged snacks is that they're not salty enough. So I oftentimes dip them in the salt.
Ooh, this was going to be another question I would ask. They need to be extra salty for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, my favorite hard pretzel brand would have to be Uncle Jerry's. Have you ever had those?
yes.
They're like those
yes.
burned
They're so
sourdough, insane amount of salt. I'm with you on the salt.
You should try the unique pretzels. They have an extra dark version that are very delicious.
Okay, I think I know where Jackie's going on this, and I think we're on the same wavelength because we've talked about crunchy snacks and how we don't necessarily love the crunchiest of snacks. Bad for your teeth.
Yeah. Like you can't even it hurts your jaw.
Yeah.
No, it's good for your teeth. We need to exercise the teeth. We need to give them some it's resistance training for your teeth.
We need to exercise the teeth. That's a new one.
Same with eating candy.
No, okay, but if you are eating pretzels, Jackie, is it soft exclusively, or are you? Yeah.
I'm pretty exclusive soft pretzel person.
Okay.
Like Auntie Annie's is what I think
gross.
of when I think,
Oh.
and I love sweet pretzels,
Okay.
like cinnamon sugar. I'm really going off the rails.
No.
but it's like my favorite pretzel.
Jackie, was that something you used to get at the mall? Is that like a mall thing? Yeah.
And then when I walk into a mall and I smell it,
Yep.
I just slowly gravitate. towards-
Since we're off the rails here, you mentioned it's National Pretzel Day,
Yeah.
which I loathe all these stupid
I know you
national
do.
days that
That's why I
people
bring 'em
paid
up.
for. So I went and looked what else is around there. And the next day is National Prime Rib Day, which seems like it would be a much bigger day for you.
Oh, I can't eat prime rib.
You and Stern.
It's true.
You gotta go out for a nice steakhouse dinner, get some prime rib.
No, I've never been a prime rib guy. It's too fatty.
Calling bullshit here.
It's too. No, did you just curse on the taste radio?
You can bleep it out or something.
Oh my gosh. No, it's too fatty. It's too mushy. I don't really love prime rib. I need a more firm cut of meat.
You like a T-bone porterhouse?
Jesus.
Oh boy, this is really going off the rails tonight.
Do you want me to tell you the other days that are in this week?
Jesus.
Well, is today the 22nd?
No, well, yeah, today's the
we're recording
22nd,
here.
but the day this is going to be
All
published
right,
is on the
here
25th.
you go. National Jelly Bean Day is today.
Okay.
Tomorrow, God, these get so who paid for this? National Cherry Cheesecake Day tomorrow.
What?
And then National Picnic Day. That sounds kind of wholesome. National
love
Pigs
picnic.
in a Blanket Day. I kind of would want to mix that with the picnic part.
I would, yeah.
Zucchini Bread Day. What are people smoking? And then Pretzel Day and Prime Rib Day. I mean, you picked maybe the second most pedestrian national day.
No, I have a good reason for bringing this up, and I'm going to get to that. But
Okay, sorry to ruin that.
by the way,
I'm focused on National Pigs in a Blanket Day. Do you what's your go-to with that?
National
Should we talk about mustard preferences now?
Honey mustard.
Anyway.
For those.
National Pigs in a Blanket. So, okay, if you really want to go there, you have to make them yourself. So anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just a tangent here. How did this work out? Easter, which was on April 20th, right? Landed on the same day as Marijuana Day, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And National Jelly Bean Day is after Easter.
Oh my
That
gosh,
doesn't
that makes
even
no
make
sense.
any sense.
Yeah, they paid for the wrong day.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay, so
Can you turn a chocolate Easter bunny into a bong ray?
I bet you can.
I'm asking someone who is the utmost authority on this.
you know this is going on the Instagrams and the YouTube Shorts and all that. So you're famous.
I want
now.
your answer.
Don't have an answer for you, my friend.
Bites the ear off.
Okay, I think we've worked out the pretzel thing, and I just want to
what's
say
the punchline here?
I just want to say that on the pretzel front, there's a wide variation when it comes to pretzels. And there's also a wide variation in quality, in particular when it comes to soft pretzels. Some soft pretzels might be the worst thing you've ever eaten. If you go to Fenway Park, no knock on Fenway Park, but if you go there and get a pretzel, it is horrid. Okay, it is so bad. It's lacking in the salt for sure. It tastes like rubber. Like it tastes like chemicals actually. And then you go to some places where they have, you know, more upscale.
Auntie Annie's, for example.
Jeez. Auntie Annie's. No, there is a place in Boston. There's a place more specifically in Cambridge that I love to go to. And the pretzel there is amazing. If you want to know where it is, send me a note, rlatif@BevNET.com. All right. Pretzels. Okay. So do you remember Trader Joe's was the only place where you could get peanut butter filled pretzels? That for the longest time, that was the only place you could get them. And nowadays, obviously, there's a lot of brands that Quinn's makes amazing peanut butter, and they also make one that's peanut butter and jelly.
Do combos not make a peanut butter flavor, Ray?
No, peanut butter filled pretzels, like completely wrapped, not like the combos kind of thing.
I'm so confused what the difference is here.
All right. Anyway,
we're splitting hairs.
We are splitting hairs
in the depths of processed food.
So Reese's, which you would think would have had one of these a long time ago, they finally came out with a filled pretzel with peanut butter filling. And
God, what's the ingredient list on this?
It comes in this plastic tub, 18-ounce plastic tub, 130 calories per 7 pieces of this. So we can open this up.
Why no chocolate?
Maybe they'll come out with a chocolate.
Yeah,
no, like chocolate and peanut butter in one pretzel.
You know what? They're just starting out.
Like, just freaking do it. Don't give me this peanut butter.
I bet it's in their innovation pipeline.
Give them time.
Or even bake a Reese's Pieces in the middle of that.
Ooh, that would be good.
Probably nasty, but this, I mean.
Would you like one? I don't have any hand sanitizer with me. We can try it after, too.
No.
Okay. I would think that these are going to be creamier than what you typically expect, because Reese's peanut butter is usually very, very creamy. Yes, go ahead. John is still chewing. That's why you can't.
Problem is Reese's peanut butter is like too flavored.
Too flavored? Oh.
Like,
I am smelling it. It actually smells very
like
peanut buttery. Yeah.
That's not peanut butter.
It's that same peanut butter-like material that's on the inside of a Reese's. So
it doesn't. So if you asked about the ingredient list, it doesn't look overwhelming. It looks like mostly ingredients for the pretzel, and then in terms of the peanut butter itself, it's peanut sugar, powdered sugar, salt, canola oil. So yeah, not the ingredient panel isn't too crazy. But anyway, I'm excited to house these late night, like 1, 2, 3 a.m. So yeah.
Right after National Prime Rib Day.
Right after you smoke out of the chocolate bunny bong.
Yes, I am in very poor health, folks. Yes.
He smokes tobacco out of the chocolate bunny bong.
All right. It's time now for everyone's favorite part of an episode of Taste Radio. What's new and notable?
Oh.
What? The end.
My game show.
Sorry.
Okay, John, what do you got?
But alas, we have more.
Yes. What do you got there?
These are some El Nacho premium tortilla chips. I don't want to, get anyone offended here.
Local brand here, yeah?
Local brand. They might have appeared in our office.
Yes.
Well, we'll call it that. But they have new snack size bags. I think the snack size bags are new, but they have
6 ounces, 5 ounces?
2.7 ounces.
I was way off.
Chips don't weigh a lot, Ray.
No, they don't.
Yeah, nice and light.
They have a new flavor, Miss Mango.
I love that one.
Really good. I don't think I've ever had like a kind of tropical flavor. It's like hot honey, mango, and lime.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel
really
like
good.
the mango it's not so fruity.
It's subtle. I think the hot honey and the lime kind of are the stars of the show. And then this one called El Diablo, just chili and lime. Only feedback on this, when you call it Diablo, I feel like it's supposed to burn your face off, but it's a pleasant spice, not a painful spice.
I like that one because it matches my hat. The Red Devils of Manchester United.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go. I'm
Yes.
seeing an expensive brand collaboration there.
Oh, very expensive. They're not going to do anything less than $6-7 million. So, yeah. El Nacho, I mean, they're going to sell a lot of those tortilla chips, so I think they could do it.
They are tasty.
They're delicious.
Really good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jackie, what do you got over there? Aside from your killer, is that a t-shirt or is that a sweatshirt?
It's a sweatshirt.
That's really cool.
So
it's
cool.
Café du Monde. It says.
You bought a lot of swag there. I feel like that's not the first piece of swag we've seen.
I think I did. I just love the beignets and I love New Orleans. So
You're
I
like, I'll
just
take one of
give me
everything.
everything.
You know, Jackie's a basketball player because the way she pulled it up was from the shoulders and like a
Showing off
jersey.
like
Yeah, she's just
a
like,
number,
here we go.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Nicely done.
Throwback. Yeah, I have something that's not related to beignets, but dude, wow. This is the name
Oh
of
yeah.
Bloody Mary mix that I have in my hands, and I just love the name. I just have been saying it all morning to Ryan, our production manager. Like, dude, wow. But yeah, it looks pretty good. They also suggest that you could use it with tequila or gin. So on the tequila train, I've never tried a Bloody Mary with tequila, but
No, that sounds aggressive.
try
It's healthier, so
yeah, exactly. Or I might use it for micheladas too.
Okay.
Is that like a Bloody Maria or something?
I think you're right, actually.
Oh,
I think I've heard that.
Yeah.
I don't really like either of them.
I think a Bloody Maria, I don't know. Bloody Mary, you know what it is. Bloody Maria sounds.
like Maria had a tough day.
No
No
you got
comment.
anything else there, Jackie?
Yes. Something to bring us zen and stress relief.
Oh, Zen. Yes, love Zen Joy.
Enjoy. And I believe they have multiple SKUs, but I have two of them in my hands. They have the passion fruit green tea and honey green tea. They say right on the front of pack, stress relief drink. So they're really trying to give you these adaptogens to make you relax, which includes L-theanine, ashwagandha, and lemon balm. Pretty simple ingredients. And it's just a nice, sweetened green tea.
Yeah, we were so lucky to have Dan Osborne, who's the co-founder and chief operating officer of ZenJoy, join us at last week's Taste Radio NYC meetup. A lot of people got to try his product. We're really enjoying it. Dan is also going to join us in a future episode of Elevator Talk. And for folks, if you recall, Elevator Talk is a bi-monthly video series that profiles early stage and disruptive brands from across the food and beverage industry. If you're interested in signing up, head to tasteradio.com/elevator talk. Would love to have you on the show. Would love to highlight what you're doing and feature you to the food and beverage community that we talk to on a regular basis. I also want to point out last week's recording of Elevator Talk was a really special one because we recorded on Wednesday the 17th. Is that right? No, Wednesday the 16th, excuse me. Do you know what happens in San Diego on Wednesday, the 16th of 2025?
Earthquake?
An earthquake. And the earthquake happened during the episode of Elevator Talk. And one of our guests who was in LA felt it. He was a little shaken. You know who I didn't hear from, though? Ryan Galang, who is our co-producer, video editor for BevNet and co-producer for Elevator Talk. And no Slack, no nothing. This guy was such a pro.
What a pro.
Everything is shaking around him. He's just like, just completely focused on this episode.
I mean, or the shelf full of Mountain Dew that's at the San Diego office could have fallen on him.
It could have, but he doesn't drink Mountain Dew. But yeah, no. Yeah, shout out Ryan Galang.
Amazing.
True pro. Absolutely. What do you got by your side, Melissa?
I brought a couple of treats, the first of which is White Leaf Provisions mango and coconut applesauce. It's unsweetened. Actually got this at Expo West. And my younger son, who's 10, had a soccer game. And so he wanted to eat something, but nothing too heavy. So I gave him one of these. He was so into it. He said, "These are so good. Can you please order more of these?" And they're not used to like eating things out of pouches. I tried some. It's incredibly tasty. White Leaf Provisions is such a cool brand. It was started by two parents when they had their first kid who had allergic reactions to all of the baby food that they found in the market. So it's glyphosate-free, non-GMO, organic. It's just a really tasty product, and I will be ordering a bunch.
Yeah, they're local, I believe. And they joined us for an episode of Elevator Talk, I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they're I think they make such a great product. And then this, which I assume is new, is the Super Coffee Protein Plus. I found this in our beverage fridge, of course, and I'm not usually a huge fan of these, and I actually didn't love Super Coffee's original Super Coffee, but there's something about this that I think is really tasty. It kind of hits that, like, if you're having a sweet tooth moment and you want something a little bit sweet, it has the same amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee. And they use monk fruit, which I mean, you can tell it's not sugar, but it also only has 3 grams of net carbs or whatever and 1 gram of sugar. But I thought they did a really good job with this.
The thing that really stands out for me more than the Protein Plus is the 25 grams of protein, which is smack center in the middle of the bottle.
Yep.
But the 1 gram of sugar too. If I miss lunch or if I'm just looking for a pick-me-up, I don't want to be drinking 12, 16 ounces of sugar. And that seems like a really good alternative to, I don't know, whatever you might have otherwise, half a sandwich or some soup or what have you. Just on the go, that seems like a really good option.
Yeah, before you do a workout. I like to drink some of it and then shake it and it gets all foamy.
Nice.
Yeah.
You make your own little latte. It's a mocha latte flavor, but you actually Melissa-ize it.
Right. Like La Colombe has their...
Draft lattes.
Yeah, it's like you can make your own draft latte.
Yeah, nice. Very cool.